Okay, so my name is Ahmad Hamzawi. I head up the engineering team for the Middle East and North Africa. And what I'm going to be doing for you guys today, I'm actually going to be showing you about a dozen demos or so. So some of these demos you might have seen in the past. Some of them are actually very recent. And I'm going to show you one thing right at the end that you've never seen ever. So before I start, I want to get a sense for where people are from. I remember Sebastian was asking, but who here is not from Amman? Okay, decent amount. Who here, so keep your hands up for those that are not from Amman. How about those that are not from a neighboring country to Jordan? Not neighboring country. Okay. Where are you from? Sorry? Okay, he didn't hear the question. Okay. So that doesn't count. Okay. So let's try a different question. Let's see, how many hours, I want to know how many hours it took people to get here today, because I know the weather was really bad. So if it took anybody longer than 1 hour, raise your hand. Okay, decent amount. How about 2 hours? Keep your hands up. 3 hours. Wow, okay. 4 hours, who's going to win? 4 hours, more than 4 hours? How many hours? 6 hours, where did you come from? He said 5 or 6. Where did you come from? From Palestine. We have somebody here from Palestine. Safulu. All right. Let's give him a mug here. Okay. So I want to talk to you quickly about who we are as a team before I get into some of the demos. So I'll bore you with a couple of slides, and then we'll go through the demos. And hopefully my demos will work today. We'll find out. Okay. So who we are as a team. So first of all, we're actually a cross-functional team. What that basically means is it's not just engineering at Google that is thinking about all of you folks in the region, okay? So we have other functions such as sales, marketing, business development, legal, policy, support. There's a whole bunch of different groups. And today we have over 30 people from Google. We call them Googlers internally and externally. That are here actually at this conference to be talking to you. So just as Sebastian was saying, we encourage all of you to just grab any one of us wearing one of these shirts, okay? Ask us questions. We're happy to talk with you. We're going to be here throughout the whole day, okay? Out of the people that are here, there's actually more than double the amount representing all of this region, okay? So it's a very big investment that we're making in terms of supporting the Middle East and North Africa market. I want to address this last point here because I'm sure it's on a lot of your minds. Well, what's going on with this engineering center that we were talking about? So many of you might have remembered from a couple of years ago that we had plans to open an office, and in fact here in Jordan. And you might have been interviewed for positions for that office. How many, I'm just curious, were interviewed for a software engineering position in Jordan? We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3. Do we have enough mugs to give all of those that interviewed? We do. Okay, everybody that interviewed with Google, you get a mug. Inshallah, next year, you'll interview and then you'll also get mugs. So we'll just give them some mugs later. Okay, so just to address the point here, so we don't have offices yet in Jordan or the Middle East in general for engineering. What we do have is we have Cairo and Dubai, which are non-engineering centers. We also have Zurich, London, and Dublin, in addition to Mountain View, which is our headquarters, okay? Now, in terms of engineering, which is a team that I end up managing, we are split between Zurich in Switzerland and Mountain View in California. And so those that are here from engineering also, that will be talking to you later today, they're actually coming from the Mountain View office. And in terms of me, I'm actually on assignment in Switzerland for the time being. So in terms of the actual engineering center, there are no plans right now. So what happened basically 2 years ago, we had the intent to open an office. And then due to the economy and whatnot back then, we actually decided to put that office on hold, in addition to shutting down other small engineering centers and consolidating their missions to larger centers. So the plan is actually still to open an office, but the timing right now is still undetermined. But the intention is still there. Okay, so very quickly, one more thing I wanted to mention. I wanted to highlight something that we call Google Technology User Groups. So if you're really passionate about Google technologies, open source, you're excited, you want to learn more about Google products, tools, and APIs, I encourage you to basically join this, what we call a GTUG. One of them is actually based here in Amman, and these are, of course, worldwide. These are basically people that are very passionate about our technologies and open source in general, for example, and they've actually formed this GTUG themselves. So we don't own these, nor do we manage them, but the users themselves do, okay? And so they're actually one that is now based here in Jordan, in Amman. If you're interested to join this group, just go to this URL, and you'll be basically sign up as a member and whatnot, and then maybe one of those different times you can make it, you should go to one of their events. Okay. So now I'm going to dive into now the demo portion of my talk. Let me just set up to make sure my mobile phone here works. Okay, can you all see that in the back? Is that pretty clear? Hello? Anybody there? Yes? Okay. Yes, it's gingerbread. Okay. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to talk to you about search. And basically, we'll dive into a couple demos. So as you all know, search is basically our bread and butter. It's basically what we do and what we do really well at Google. So what I want to show you, actually, is a couple of demos that are very specific to search. And some of these demos, actually, by the way, are going to be global in nature, and some will be very specific to the region. And some of these, the actual engineers from my team have actually built for you. So I'm going to switch over now. Okay. Is that full screen? Let me just make it a little bit wider here. Okay. So how many people here watched the recent soccer game between Real Madrid and Barcelona? Wow, okay. So let's have some tension here. Who supports Real Madrid in the room? Okay, and then Barcelona. Wow, okay. So I cannot give you all mugs, I'm very sorry. So, okay, that's very interesting. So you're probably all very passionate about soccer. So let's do a sample query here about what's going on with that. Okay, so I didn't type it right. Thank God we have that. Okay. So for example, you're interested in the Barcelona-Real Madrid match. What you might have done actually is done a simple search on your local domain here in Arabic to see what information exists on the internet. So what you might have done is actually typed Barcelona-Real Madrid in Arabic to see what kind of content is available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a product that we have called Ta'rib. And if you have not heard about it, it basically allows me to type with Latin characters, so basically with my English keyboard, and it automatically converts my text into Arabic. And if you're interested in more information about this, there'll be a talk later on in the afternoon to talk more about this in addition to some of our other products in this area. So I'll type Barcelona, I'll type Real Madrid, and each time I hit space, it automatically converts it to Arabic. Okay? So I did this actual search right now. And I get some content, okay? So I can see YouTube videos, some random links, probably some content here from forums, okay? And what you see here at the bottom is something that you may not have recognized before. Has anybody ever seen this before in a search query? Okay, great. So what this basically is here is something that we call cross-language information retrieval, okay? And so what's happening behind the scenes is when you typed, or at least in this case, when I typed in Barcelona, Real Madrid here in Arabic, what we did is we translated that query into multiple languages, okay? So one thing we did is we translated, for example, to English, and then in parallel, we reissued that query, okay, to see basically if we have a lot of content in other languages. So say we convert this or we translate this to English, we do the exact same query but in English, and we see how many documents we have returned. And so what we're trying to do is compare how many documents we have in your original language, say Arabic, compared to how much we have, say, in other languages such as English. And in this case, we've detected that there is much more content available about this query in English. And for that reason, you'll see a special search result here. And as you might imagine, if I were to click on this, it's going to try basically and reissue the query, but in English. With a twist, of course, in that all the text for this query will be translated now for you in Arabic. So what it's detected here basically is that there's a lot of content in English. It's already translated the query for me. And what you'll see below here is content here specifically related to the English query. And you'll notice the first website is barcelonarealmadrid.com. This is not an Arabic website. This is an English website, okay? And so the title here, the actual snippet that we render, is all, of course, generated by Translate. So I'll go ahead and click on this link. And just to show you what will happen, and this is very useful for those that actually don't speak more than one language, in this case, Arabic, okay? So if you don't speak Arabic, what we're trying to do here is bring much more of the content available on the web and surface it to you as a user. So what you see here basically is this Barcelona Real Madrid website, but it's now completely in Arabic, okay? And just to kind of prove the point, if I actually click here, and I switch it back to the original content, this is what the original site owner intended in terms of this specific query. Okay? So this is the original site itself. So this is an example of something that was actually launched specifically for this market. Now, I want to switch to another query. Let's do this one right here. Okay? So here's another example of a query that you may not have seen before. So it's KHKSDUOVL. Does anybody know what this nonsensical query should be doing? Okay, so somebody already knows the answer to this one. So you didn't hear it. Okay, so let's actually do it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll actually go to Google again in Jordan. And I'll switch to Arabic. Okay, I'm going to issue that exact same query now. So it's this nonsensical query, and then watch what happens. Everybody see what happened? Yeah, I'll make it bigger. So did you see that? هل تقصد ننسي عشرة? Okay. So with this weird query in English, we've determined that you actually probably don't mean this weird query. You probably mean ننسي عشرة. Okay. And so what has actually happened behind the scenes is we've noticed a lot of patterns in our query log that when people type nonsensical queries like this, it might be the case that they're using a keyboard and they've switched to another language, and then they forgot to switch back. Okay? And so in this case, they were actually in English, and they forgot to switch back to Arabic. So they're probably typing like this, not looking to see what's actually being typed in. So this is an example, another example of what you can actually do that's very specific to MENA domains. So you cannot do this on Google.com, for example. This is very specific to the Arabic market. Okay, so let's give out another mug. I have one question for you right now, and the question goes like this. What percentage of queries have at least one search result from an Arabic forum? Okay? And I'll give you some of your options now, but the main point I'm trying to highlight here is, in Arabic specifically, when you're doing searches, you find a lot of content that's actually being surfaced from forums. And this is something that's very unique to this market. So we actually have a very high percentage of this in MENA, and so that's your first hint. Okay, so here are your options. Okay, and so if you attended yesterday, you know the answer. If you've been watching Twitter, you also know the answer. Okay, so I want to pick one volunteer. Somebody that's excited to get a Google mug. Who wants a Google mug? Who really wants a Google mug? You really want a Google mug, I can tell. Let's see if he gets the right answer. 65%. What does the audience think? Is that right? Okay, we have hands that are still going up, so you can guess what that means. I'm sorry, you're wrong. Okay, next answer. Who wants a mug? Come on, excitement. Who wants a mug? You don't want a mug. Who? You do. He doesn't even need a microphone. Look at that. Okay, what's the answer? You guessed 50%. Is he right? You are absolutely wrong. Next. Okay, right in the middle here. One answer, you have 50% chance of getting this right. Okay, very simple. Nobody wants a mug on this side. I guess I'll keep it for myself. No, this side here, just to be fair. Okay, I will pick you waving your hand. Yes, that's you. No, not you. Sorry, in black. Yes. 35%. We have a winner. Yes. Okay, wow, 3 tries. Come on, guys. You can do better than that. There's another question for you later, okay? Don't look at Twitter while I'm talking. Okay. So we're going to go through now Google Translate, okay? People have used, of course, Google Translate. I'm not going to bore you with, the existing Translate feature and whatnot. Instead, I'm going to show you some interesting features of Translate that you've probably not seen before. And the first one I'm going to show you is an example with SMS translation. Just make sure my internet is working here, because it doesn't look like it is. Okay, it is. Perfect. Okay. So here's basically the Google Translate application running on Android. And for those that made a comment initially, this is actually Gingerbread that I'm running. So if you'd like to come by later and take a look at my phone, you're more than welcome to do that. So here goes the actual use case here. So I live in Switzerland, and I live in Zurich, which is a very German-speaking part of Switzerland. And in my case, I don't speak actually, I don't speak any German, for that matter. And so I've been there for 2 years now. I don't speak the language. I tried for about a month, and I couldn't figure out how to pick up this very difficult language. And so sometimes I get these SMSs from Swisscom, which is the mobile operator. They're telling me random things, and I'm not sure really what I need to do. So I'll typically ask a Swiss friend. They'll translate it for me, and I'm on my way. But with Google Translate now, with a new feature we've launched, we have the ability to automatically translate SMSs, okay? So you can translate any SMS you have on your phone from whatever language it is currently in to up to 57 other languages, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at my SMSs, pick one of the SMSs that was sent to me in German, and I'll see if I can translate it. Okay, so here is the SMS that I selected. I'm now running the Google Translate application directly, and I'll just change the dimmer here. Okay, and so there it is. So I got this SMS from Swisscom, and it was originally in German. You can kind of see it here at the bottom if you can see that closely. And it says basically the sender tried to call me 2 times without leaving me a message, and the last time they called me was November 29th. So that's a really cool feature of SMS, of actual translations built into the actual phone itself. Kind of makes your life easier. Now, the next demo, I need my trusty helper, Sebastian. Sebastian, where are you? Wake up. Okay. Okay. So the next I'm going to show you, basically, I'm going to set up my phone here. Okay, we're good to go. So the next example I'm going to show you is a very interesting feature of Translate also that you may not have seen before, and it's related to what we call conversation mode. Okay, so what's going to happen basically is I'm going to be talking to my phone will then talk to Sebastian, Sebastian will talk to the phone, and the phone will talk back to me in different languages, okay? And well, basically what happened also in Switzerland for me was that I went to send my bike in for repair, and I tried to explain to the bike repair person that I wanted to fix my bike. I would speak in English, he'd have no idea what I'm talking about, and then what I basically did is I used my phone. Back then, Conversation Mode hadn't launched, so basically I would speak to my phone would talk to the guy and tell him whatever it was in German, and then he would start talking to me in German, and I'd have no idea what he's saying. Well, with this new feature of Conversation Mode, we can almost, automate that whole experience where we're both, talking to the phone. Typical experiences, of course, won't go like that, but you can imagine the opportunities now with some of the APIs related to translation where you can actually do some of these things on your own, okay? So what I'll do is we'll run through this use case. So I'll be the person sending my bike in for repair, and Sebastian here will be the repair person, okay? Yes, is this one working? Okay. Hi, I would like to repair my bike.
Salut, je voudrais réparer mon vélo.
Okay.
Quel est le problème?
What is the problem?
Okay. I would like to change my brakes.
Je voudrais changer mes freins.
Okay.
Pas de problème.
No problem.
How much will it cost?
Combien cela va-t-il coûter?
Okay.
20 €.
20 euros.
Excellent, thank you.
Excellent, merci.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Whew, the demo worked. Okay, so what I just showed you there actually was live. I heard people commenting yesterday on Twitter that they thought it was fake. You can come by anytime. I can show you the application. You can try and see for yourself. So you can imagine a world, for example, just again talking about opportunities here, similar to what Wael was saying, where you actually might have, say, a business partner in some other country, China, Japan, Korea, for example, and you're talking to your device, whether it's your laptop, your tablet, your phone. You're talking, for example, in Arabic. And what's happening behind the scenes is your conversation or your voice is sent, of course, to the cloud. It's translated to the actual target language of the person you're talking to. So say you're talking to a Chinese person. Your voice will be translated, of course, from Arabic to Chinese. That's what the Chinese person will hear basically in China. He or she will hear that in China. They will then talk Chinese back to the device, whatever they're talking to, for example. and then it'll convert it back to Arabic so you can actually have a conversation with somebody you'd never imagined you'd be able to have a conversation with. So that's just an example of some of the really interesting things that you can do with Google Translate. That's something we're very, very excited about. Okay, so I want to switch now and talk to you about another product called Google Translator Toolkit. Has anybody heard of Toolkit? Translator Toolkit? Okay, so just a few people. All right, so Translator Toolkit basically is this translation workbench. All right? And the idea behind this translation workbench is that if you have a web page or a document that's locally on your machine, and you basically want to...
I don't know why this is...
Yeah, turn off your mic. Okay. And you basically want to be able to translate content on the web, for example, you can do that with this workbench. All right? So what I'm going to do here basically is I'm going to fire up the upload feature. I have the ability now to upload a local file, a web page, in this case, a Wikipedia article, and a Google Null. So what I want to do in this case, I want to basically translate something on Wikipedia. So what I'm going to do here is I'll do a simple search for Dead Sea. And here we have a link on Wikipedia. Okay, so you might have seen this URL before. And what I'm going to do here, and this is in the spirit, of course, translating a lot of content that's available on Wikipedia. And so Wael was alluding to this in his keynote, the fact that a lot of you here, of course, are using Wikipedia, for example, in English, but a lot of that content is not available in Arabic. And so we actually have one of our initiatives to help translate a lot of the popular content available in English to Arabic. Okay, so I'll just do this as an example. I'll take this Dead Sea article, and I will try to translate it. Okay, so you'll see it automatically populates the title. I'll go ahead and upload this for translation. And what's happening now is it's actually connecting to Wikipedia, copying that article, moving it into the cloud in our data centers now, and then it's going to fire up this workbench here. And what you should see, if everything works correctly, you should see basically on the left the source document, and then on the right the translation here in Arabic. Okay? And just to kind of show you what it looks like, you can scroll down here, you can see all the images exactly as it appeared on Wikipedia. And here you can see the exact same thing, already translated again using our Translate APIs with all the images embedded. And so, for example, if I click on this specific snippet of the text in Wikipedia, I'm automatically anchored into that specific spot in the Translator Toolkit on the right. You obviously know this already, that translation is not perfect, right? So we basically use statistical machine translation. And for that specific reason, it's not perfect yet. What we need more of is more content available in English and Arabic translated. So the more content that exists there, the smarter the algorithms will be for translation. And so for that reason, if you decide here to make any manual changes to the Arabic translation, we actually learn from that. Our machine learning algorithms will actually learn from the actual changes you're making. So it's good for you in that you're translating content, but it's also good for the translation engine in that it learns a lot more of the specific changes that you are making. Okay? So with that, let's move on. Okay, so let's switch to the more exciting part. Everything here is exciting. Let's move to the more exciting part of the rest of these demos. So I want to talk to you now a little bit about mobile. Okay? So if you have a typical smartphone, you have a bunch of different features that are available to you today. You've got a speaker, a camera, touchscreen, GPS, and a microphone. Well, we kind of look at those features a little bit differently in terms of how you can actually leverage these in an application. So first of all, the speaker is the voice, which you've already heard in the demo. You've got cameras, which can be your eyes. You've got touchscreen, where I can actually feel now, in addition to GPS location for touch, and then, of course, the microphone for the ears that allow us to listen. So if you take those different senses that are available to you as obvious features on a phone, you can do some really powerful things with those. Okay? Now, I'm going to give away another mug. Here is the question for you. See if you're awake. So which mobile platform drives the highest amount of traffic here in Jordan? And just to make it clear, this is based on what we see on our side for mobile data, mobile search. Okay? So that's the question. And here are your answers. iPhone, BlackBerry, Android, Symbian, and Windows Mobile. Okay. So who really, really wants, not a cell phone, a mug? Okay. I'm just not feeling the crowd today. The person waving the name tag, because that's the most interesting thing. Symbian. Does everybody think it's Symbian? Okay. The answer is Symbian. Congratulations. You got a new mug. So let's give him a mug also. I'll give it one more just for fun here. How about the fastest growing mobile platform? Okay. Okay, so keep your voices down. Let's try different. Oh, somebody flashing a phone. Exciting. Okay, we have Android. جواب نهائي. You're wrong. Okay, next one. Okay, to be fair, in this row right here. Ya عيني, ya عيني. Okay, anybody in the room? No, I already asked you. You're out. You're out. Okay, let's move on. Nobody wants to dance? Who wants to sing? أي حد. مش أي حد? خلاص, how about you, right? iPhone. iPhone is the correct answer. Fastest growing here in Jordan. Okay, so we'll also give you a mug. Okay, so let's get into the mobile demos. So what I want to show you right now is something called Chrome to Phone. This is basically an actual API that allows you to basically, from within Chrome itself, whether it's on a tablet, whether it's on a laptop or desktop, allows you basically to push information from that browser to your phone. Okay? I'm going to show you some examples of how that actually might work. Okay, so we'll switch back here, and we'll go to Maps. Okay, so let's say, for example, that that I want to go to Dubai, and I want to stay at the Dubai Marina. So what I'm going to do is I'll just look for the Dubai Marina here on Maps, and of course I see this here. Okay, what you'll notice at the top here is a Chrome extension that I've downloaded, and you see this icon right here. This is the Chrome to Phone extension, and you can download this, of course, online. And what I'm basically going to do now is say I'm really busy, I don't have time, I can't stick around my laptop, but I want to push exactly what I'm looking at now to my phone. Okay? So it's exactly what I'm going to try and do for you right now. So with that, I'm actually going to switch over here because it's pretty quick. Just make sure this works. Okay? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually just going to click this Chrome to Phone extension button, and then if everything works correctly, it's going to push exactly what I'm looking at now to the cloud. Okay, and I'm logged in, by the way. This only works if you're logged in. Okay, and then from the cloud, it's going to send a notification to my phone that says, go fetch this new notification. The phone will then connect back to the cloud, fetch this new this information, and then update the phone. Okay? So here we go. See if this works. Okay, so I hit send to phone. And then you see it updated right away. There you go. So there's an example of basically Chrome to Phone in action. Okay? So let's continue this demo. I'll show you what else you can do with Chrome to Phone. Okay, so I'm here, for example. I want to find a hotel. I want to stay somewhere around this area. So what I'll do is I'll just click on this push pin. Okay? And I'll click on Search Nearby. And this will allow me to search in this specific area. And I'll just search for hotels, see what I have. Okay? So you see here is the Dubai Marina, very close. And I see a bunch of hotels that are in this area. What I see on the left here are the actual search results for hotels in this area. And one thing you'll notice that's actually relatively new is you see pricing information here also on the right of the actual links to the hotels. And so this is extra metadata we have now from the hotels themselves. Okay? So, for example, what I can do with Chrome to Phone is, you know what? I really want to call this phone number. Well, what would you do? You typically type it in on your phone and you'd be done. Well, you don't have to do that. You can just select it, right-click, and then just say Chrome to Phone. Let's see what happens. And there it is. Okay? Very, very quick. So what I can do now, for example, is another feature probably not too many people know about, is I can dial this number and watch what happens. So I'm going to dial this number. And you'll notice something appeared in the system tray. I'm going to hang up before they answer. Okay? And I'm going to go up here, and you'll see that it actually said, oh, we know what you're trying to do. You're trying to call a hotel that we know about. Okay? So we know you're trying to call that hotel. Well, maybe you're on your Bluetooth headset. Maybe you want to see extra information while you're actually talking to them on the phone. And here it is. Without you doing anything to your phone, while you're on the phone, you see the system tray pop up with more information. So I can scroll up and down here, and I get all this extra information about the context of what exactly I'm doing on my phone. Pretty powerful. Okay? So I'm not going to go through more demos of Chrome to Phone, but other things you can do is if I'm watching YouTube video, I can click Chrome to Phone. It'll send the video directly to my phone. If I want to copy any text on this page, I can copy directly to my clipboard, which is something that you probably have done many times. You see something on the screen, you want to copy all the text to your clipboard on your mobile phone. You can do that very easily with Chrome to Phone. Okay, let us switch over and talk about voice actions. Okay, so voice actions is a really cool feature that exists now in Android devices. Rather than, for example, typing on your phone about, for example, doing things, taking actions on your phone, you can talk directly to your phone instead and tell it what you want to do. Okay? So for example, yesterday afternoon I was very tired. I want to take a quick half an hour nap or an hour nap, for example. So what you typically have to do is you bring up your phone, you figure out what time it is now, you add 60 minutes to that, and then you set your alarm after 7, 8 clicks, and then you set your alarm and then you go to bed. Well, what if I could just tell my phone to do exactly that and avoid all of these key presses? Let's see how I would do that. Okay, so here is basically my voice search application right here at the top right. I'm just going to tell the phone exactly what I just said. Set alarm to 1 hour. And there you have it. So I'll show you that so you can see it. Very quickly, as soon as I set it, sent to the cloud, recognized what I wanted to do, told my phone it's currently 11:11, make it 12:11, I hit set, and I'm done. 59 minutes from now, my alarm is set. Very easy, very, very easy. I'll show you some other interesting examples that you can do also with voice actions. So say you've got some songs on your cell phone and you want to listen to them. Well, typically you have to go through your playlist, find exactly what song you want to play, and then you play it. Well, what if I just told my phone, play a song for me? Let's try that. Okay, let's see if this works. Listen to World Cup song. Okay, so recognize I want to listen to the World Cup song. Very quick, very, very quick. Do you recognize the song? Yeah? Okay, good. So another example. I'll give you 2 more examples, then we'll move on to the next section. Say, for example, you want to send an SMS. You're in the car, you're running very late, and you need to tell a friend, for example, that, hey, listen, I'm running really late. Ma'alish, we'll catch up soon. So in my case, I was actually meeting with somebody in the office, and I needed to tell them, listen, I'm running a little bit late. So let's see how I can do that with my phone. And you might recognize the person I'm going to SMS right now. Send SMS to Larry Page. Sorry, I'm running late. There it is. Pretty quick, huh? And so if you're all squinting to see the phone number, it's not his real phone number, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay? So again, very simple. I could be my phone, I could have a hands-free device, I could just say this to my phone, and I'm done. Very, very quick. Let's try last example here and we'll move on. Say I want to do the same thing with driving directions. Again, I'm in my car, I don't want to sit there and type on my phone or my GPS device. I just want to tell my phone where I want to go. Navigate to Marriott. Okay, so it says I want to go to the Marriott Hotel. Very good. Let's see what Maps is going to do. It's going to fire up here Google Maps and driving directions. Okay, trying to calculate some driving directions. The first thing you're going to notice, I didn't say where I was. All I said was, take me to the Marriott Hotel. I didn't even say the word hotel, right? What it did is, based on my location, which is one of the senses I was talking to you about before, it said, well, looks like you're in Amman. You probably want to navigate to the Marriott somewhere around here. And so here are some of the Marriotts that are actually in Amman. I will pick, let's say, this 4th one here. Let driving directions do its thing. And there you have it. So what it's saying here, basically, it's 53 kilometers from where I am right now, and it's going to take me roughly 50 minutes, okay? So I can look here, for example, get a general idea of the route it's going to take me and whatnot. But here's driving directions that our team launched about 6 months ago. Very powerful. Another really cool feature of Google Maps. Okay. Okay, let's hold the questions because I'll run out of time, actually. So why don't you just come grab me later because I know Sebastian will kick me off stage if I don't finish. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you now about Google Goggles. How many here have actually heard of Google Goggles? How many have used it? Okay, a lot. Great. So Google Goggles is basically something that came out of research in our machine vision area. And basically, it allows you, again, to use another sense on the phone, the eyes, right? So if we assume this camera here acts as the eyes for your phone, well, maybe we can, instead of actually doing searches by typing it to my phone, I can just point it at something and let Google tell me what it is. So I can basically do my searches on my phone that way. Does anybody know what this is? And if you know, okay, you said it, darn. Okay, you guys didn't hear that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a picture of what I see here on the screen, and then I'm going to very quickly switch to my mobile projector and see if Google can tell me if it's actually identified this. So I'll just go like this, at a fancy angle. You can see what I'm doing. I got my camera on right now. Take a picture. And I'll switch over. Is that right? Very cool. Okay, let's try another one. Let's see how good this Google Goggles thing is. Who's this? Okay, so I didn't know. Of course, I know who she is. I didn't recognize this. Who is this? Who is this? How about this? Better? Okay. I wish I knew her, but I don't. But anyways. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of this, and I'm going to see if Google can tell me who this person is. Now, don't get scared. It doesn't work if I just take a picture of you. Google cannot tell me who you are, okay? It works for very famous people, okay? People there's a lot of content and pictures of online, okay? So I'll take a picture of this person that I don't recognize, okay? And other people are taking pictures, I can hear. Hold on. Does that look right? There you go. And so I just took a picture of her. I can now see who exactly did Diana Carazon, and I can actually look through her search results here, or the search results for her, and I'm good to go. Another example. So in Switzerland, I see a lot of these. I'm getting bad at this. So in Switzerland, I get a lot of these random signs on the street. I drive in Switzerland, but I see random signs for parking and so on and so forth, and I can't really read what I'm looking at, and sometimes I get tickets and so on and so forth. And so anyways, I saw this sign, and I didn't know what it was. I typically have to ask one of my friends, what on earth is this sign referring to? What am I supposed to do? Well, what if actually, again, I took a picture of this and have Google tell me what it's trying to do? So let's see if I can get this one. Okay, and for those that speak German, you already know the answer to this. I don't. And probably, I'm sure, a majority of you don't also. Okay. So what it did here, it actually did OCR. It actually scanned the text. It detected the text on that image, and it's displaying it for me right here. So if I click on Show All, it'll show me the text. So that's not useful so far. But it then said, well, maybe you want to translate this to some other language. And so it automatically displays for me a Translate button. Let's translate this. I think it's first going to translate to English. And there you go. Does that look right for those that speak German? Yeah. So very simple. I just took a picture of an image, extracted the text for it, rendered it in my language. Again, very, very powerful. Okay, so I'm going to show you one last demo, and I'm going to get off stage. And this is the part of the demo that I'd like to show you that actually is currently in research. Okay. And this is a demo. I'm going to need the cameraman for this. Okay. So what I'm going to show you basically now does not exist yet in production, okay? But this is basically where the advertising space could be moving towards, okay? And it's in the field of augmented reality. What I want to do basically is I want to take a picture of an ad, okay? So what I have here, if you can see this, is an ad for a blue Ford Mustang 2010, okay? So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try and make this ad come to life, okay? So here is the image, okay? What happened? I now have the car in 3D. You see that? Very cool. Okay, so what I can do, I can turn this image. I can see the other side of the car. I can come from the side. There again. You know, I can even click on the car. I can't because I don't have a third hand. But if I actually clicked on the car, here, I'll show this. Let's see how good I am. Okay, let's try this. Where is it? Okay, so if I click on the car, where is it? There you go. So I can actually move the car. I can actually interact with this ad that's actually come out to life. If I wanted to get more information about this ad, I click, for example, on it. And what it's going to do here, it's going to take me to the ad from Ford directly. Okay? And I didn't do anything. There's no QR code. There's nothing on this that is actually electronic in any nature. We've detected this ad, okay? And so what you're seeing here basically is the future, where you can take, for example, a picture of a billboard, some ad, for example, a new song, that just got announced. It's on a big billboard. You take a picture of it. We detect what album it is. We show you the different songs for that album, and you can preview songs, download songs, and you're done. Okay? So that doesn't exist today, but this is just to give you a sense of where we're heading. Okay. The last slide I have is on Google Chrome OS. So I'm sure very many of you are interested to learn more about Chrome OS. I don't have time to do a demo for Chrome OS, but with that, we actually have a whole session dedicated to Chrome OS. And so if you're interested in learning more about Chrome OS, please come to the afternoon session. Fair enough? And with that, thank you very much.